Welcome to OptinMonster. In this demo, we'll show you how to use OptinMonster to increase leads and conversions on your website. Before we jump in and show you actually how to use OptinMonster, let's talk a little bit about why you might need OptinMonster to grow your business. You might need us to help you grow your email list. Our high-converting opt-in forms like exit intent pop-ups, full-screen welcome mats, and scroll boxes help you dramatically boost conversions and get more email subscribers. If you run an e-commerce store, you might need us to help you reduce abandonment. On average, 60 to 80% of shopping carts are abandoned. The visitor adds a product to the cart and then leaves without completing that purchase. OptinMonster targets that behavior to drastically reduce cart abandonment and boost sales. Or maybe you need us to help you target your website messages. Our on-site follow-up campaigns help you display personalized website messages to your existing subscribers, customers, and returning visitors. Or maybe you'd like to increase your page views. Our behavior detection rules combined with our yes/no feature significantly increase your page views by redirecting already engaged visitors to your highest converting pages. Now that you know why you might use OptinMonster in your business, let's take a look at how. There are 5 easy steps to launching an OptinMonster campaign on your website. First, create an opt-in. Second, decide where that opt-in can display on your site and who can see it. Third, make sure any leads passed through the opt-in are sent to your email marketing platform and recorded in Google Analytics. Fourth, add our embed code to your website. And finally, publish the opt-in live. That entire process can take less than 5 minutes. Let's jump into OptinMonster to see how easy it is to set up your first campaign. There are 5 types of campaigns you can create using OptinMonster. Pop-up light boxes appear on top of your content and allow the visitor to freely browse the site behind it. Full-screen campaigns take over the entire width and height of your screen and focus your visitor's attention on the offer presented in the full-screen campaign. Slide-in campaigns appear from the bottom left or bottom right of the site, while floating bar campaigns appear across the entire width of the top of the site or the bottom of the site, and inline campaigns are used within the content of your page or post or in the sidebar of your site. Each campaign type can display on any device, or you can choose within the settings of that campaign specific devices where you'd like it to display. In this first demo, we'll create a pop-up to appear on every page with the goal of collecting email addresses. First, we'll choose pop-up, and then we'll choose a campaign template. You can choose from one of our proven pre-designed templates and then customize it using our drag-and-drop builder. Or, if you'd like to build an entirely custom opt-in, choose our canvas template. Today, we'll use the fashion template. We'll start by giving our pop-up a name. And choosing which website we want to load this campaign on. Since we haven't yet added a domain to this account, we'll want to choose Add a New Website. We'll give this website a nickname, and then also add the URL of this demo site. There's no need to include the HTTP or HTTPS or www. Just the domain itself will work. And click Start Building. Before we jump into editing this specific campaign, let's take a quick tour of the builder. The Design tab takes you to where you can edit any of the content of this particular opt-in. The Display rules is where you'll tell this opt-in where, when, and for whom it can display. Integrations will connect this opt-in to your email marketing platform so that when someone submits their email address, name, or phone number through this opt-in, it will be sent automatically to your email integration. Analytics connects this to Google Analytics so that we can measure your impressions and your conversions and show those both in our own dashboard but also in Google Analytics itself. And the Publish tab is where you'll set this opt-in to live and also grab the embed code which allows this opt-in to display on your site. We'll come back to the Design tab and make a few quick changes to the display settings for this opt-in before we get into editing content. Under Display Settings, you'll see that you can change the name of the campaign if you'd like to, but there are 2 other settings in here I'd really like you to pay attention to: the cookie duration and the cookie success duration. Cookie duration tells this opt-in if this opt-in has been ignored or closed, don't display again for X number of days. Now by default we have it set to 30, but it might make sense for you to set it to something much lower like 3 or 7. The cookie success duration is similar, and it tells this opt-in not to display again for X days if this opt-in is successfully converted. So if someone enters their email address and converts this opt-in, you obviously don't need to show this opt-in to them again for a long time, if at all, and so set that one something very long, like a year or even a couple of years. Now we're ready to begin editing the content of our opt-in. Let's get started by changing the image. We'll simply click on the image and then select to replace it with one from our computer. Now that we've changed the image, let's also change the text. We'll change Fashion News to read OM Demo instead. And let's change the font while we're here. We'll make it bold, and we'll also increase the size. Now we could also change the color here with our color picker. We could turn that text into a link simply by clicking the link icon, or do any number of other things that you're probably pretty used to using any word processor. Next, let's change the background color of the right column to yellow. We'll hover over the column and click the column settings, and then we'll paste in our nice yellow color. Now you can see the entire right column has changed to yellow. Now the left column also has a background color, but you don't see it because the image is on top of it. And both of these columns are resting inside of a row. The row also has a color. In this case, the color is white, so let's change it just so that you can see how the row color is changed. So in this case, we'll click on the row settings, and let's just change this to purple, so you can see it. Now if you looked carefully, you could see that there's a small purple line now in the middle. Let's go ahead and change this column to transparent again so that you can see the row color in the background. And this is important for when you're designing your own opt-ins using OptinMonster's drag and drop builder, is to know that rows have columns and columns have elements like this text element or this image, and each one of those have their own background colors that you can add according to your preference. Now let's edit the form itself. Click on email address and then fields, and let's add the name field so that we can later personalize our campaigns. You can edit the placeholder text in any of these fields, and for the submit button you can also change your call to action and the background color and adjust other styles for your button. Next, we'll want to tell our form what we want to happen when a visitor successfully completes that form. To do that, let's go to the form action. You have 4 choices. Would you like your visitor to go to another view? In OptinMonster, we have the yes/no view, the opt-in view, which is what we're looking at now, and the success view. Or would you like to redirect them to a URL, perhaps a landing page on your site? Or would you like to close the campaign or reload the page? If you choose redirect to a URL, you'll see that you have a place to enter that URL. If you choose go to a view, you can select the view you'd like that person to go to, the success view or the yes/no view. Now here's a quick tip about the success view. If you look at the success view right now, it doesn't look like the campaign that we just created in the opt-in tab. If you'd like to keep your branding consistent, you have 2 options. You can come into this view and make all of the same changes that you made to this view, changing out the image, changing the font sizes, and background colors, or you can simply delete everything that's in this view and then import the layout from the opt-in view and go from there. This is much faster because now all you have to do is delete a few lines of text and change it to say, "Thank you, please go check your inbox for more details." Now that we've edited the content of our opt-in and told our form what to do, let's now tell our form where and when it can display. We'll click on Display Rules and then look at the default conditions. If the visitor is on the page for at least 5 seconds and the current page is any page on the site, then the opt-in can appear. Now these are just the default rules. You can add additional rules to this. For example, you can use an OR rule too. If the time on page is at least 5 seconds or the distance scrolled is at least 15% and the visitor is on any page of the site, then the opt-in can appear. It's important to notice the difference between OR rules and and rules. And rules mean that all of those conditions have to be true in order for the opt-in to appear, and or conditions mean that either condition can be true and the opt-in can appear. So once you've chosen your conditions here, let's go ahead and click Next Step. Then you choose the action. What do you want to happen when the campaign shows? Do you want to show the opt-in view or the success view? For most people, they want to show the opt-in view first. The summary is a plain English summary of the display rules you've chosen. If the time on page is at least 5 seconds or the distance scrolled is at least 15% and the URL path is any page on the site, then the campaign should show the opt-in view. Later in this demo, we'll go over each of the display rules in detail so you can understand how to better use behavioral targeting to increase leads and conversions on your website. For now, let's move on to integrations, where we'll connect this form to our email marketing platform. OptinMonster itself does not store the leads passed through your opt-ins. Rather, we pass them to your email marketing platform using their API. We connect with every major email marketing platform, so on the Integrations tab, simply choose your email marketing platform and then complete the information provided. Generally speaking, you need to go into your email marketing account and grab an API key and then add it to OptinMonster. That process, though, is different for every email marketing platform, so be sure to check out our documentation for your specific platform. Once you've connected to your email marketing platform, you'll see a series of options depending on the options available from your platform. For MailChimp, you can choose the specific list you'd like this opt-in to pass leads to. In this case, we'll just choose 3 cans. And then you can also choose if you have any specific groups that you'd like this opt-in to automatically submit to. Now, groups and segments, again, are very different for every email marketing platform. So if you have questions about how you can use groups and segments or tags in your specific platform, be sure to reach out to support once you get started. Now let's make sure that every impression and conversion is recorded. We'll connect Google Analytics by generating an authentication code in our Google Analytics account directly. Simply sign into your account and allow OptinMonster permission to grab that authentication code. You can copy it and paste it back into your OptinMonster campaign and then give this account a nickname, DemoGA. Click Next and you've successfully connected to your Analytics account. Once you've done that, you can choose the specific property you'd like this campaign to be measured with. Now, within Google Analytics, we'll record impressions and conversions as events, and we'll also show you that data on our dashboard. And last, we'll publish this campaign live on our site. We'll click on the Publish tab and scroll down to find the OptinMonster embed code. This process of adding the embed code is a little different for every website platform, but we do have documentation for pretty much every platform out there, and OptinMonster does work on any HTML website. What we'll do is demo this on a WordPress website, since we know that's a very popular CMS. We'll copy this embed code, and if you're familiar with coding or development at all, you can go directly into your website template files and paste this just before the closing body tag. If you're not, you're welcome to use this free plugin we created called Insert Headers and Footers, which allows you to add scripts to the header or footer of your site without concern for breaking your site's templates. We'll paste it directly into the footer and then save. Once you've added this embed code to your site, you don't need to do it again. Anytime you'd like to launch a campaign on your site, simply come to the Publish tab of that campaign and toggle the status from pause to live, then be sure to save the opt-in as well. When you come back to your site and visit any of the pages where that opt-in is allowed to display, you should see the opt-in live and ready for viewing. Our opt-in should appear after 5 seconds or when the visitor has scrolled at least 15% of the page. Now that you know how easy it is to use OptinMonster to grow your email list, let's learn how you can use OptinMonster to increase page views. Here's an example. If a visitor is visiting the style guide for men on our website, we want to launch a slide-in opt-in that redirects them to the men's clothing category on our store. Let's learn how to do that. We'll come to our dashboard and click Create Campaign, then choose a slide-in opt-in, and we'll use the Converse template for this example. We'll call it Men's Clothing and start building. In the next few demos, I won't change the content or any images in the opt-ins, but instead show you specifically new features that you haven't seen yet that I think you'll find very important. In this slide-in opt-in, we don't want to collect an email address, but instead we want to display a button that redirects the visitor to another page on our site. So let's delete that form. Then we'll click Add Blocks and scroll down to add a button to our new campaign. The button by default is transparent, so we want to make sure to give it a color that can be seen. We'll change it to red and maybe change the font to white. And then we'll copy those styles to the hover effect as well. After we've changed the style, let's change the action too. Choose to go to a view. You can redirect to another URL, close the campaign, reload the page, or open in a new window. In this case, we want to redirect to a URL, and the redirect URL is the men's category on our store. So we'll copy that and paste it here, and then also turn on conversion tracking so that you can see how many people who viewed this opt-in also then clicked on the button. For display rules, we'll say that the time on page is not quite as important as the distance they've scrolled in the article, and so we'll say if they've scrolled at least 20%, and the current URL path exactly matches our style guide URL. So I'm copying what's called the slug, and the slug is the portion after your domain name. It's everything after that. So we're going to copy that and then paste it into our display rules. Then we'll take a look at the action. We want to show the campaign opt-in view and the summary. If the distance scrolled is at least 20% and the current URL path matches the style guide, then show the opt-in view of the campaign. For integrations, we don't need to connect an integration right now because all we're doing is redirecting the visitor to another page. And for analytics, we'll use the same account that we used in the previous demo. And we'll click Next and then Close. And again, we've already added the OptinMonster embed code to our site, so we don't need to do that again, but we do need to make this opt-in live and save it. Now, if we come back to our style guide and we refresh, opt-in now appears after we scroll 15% of the page. And there it is. Using the button is a great way to redirect visitors to other more popular content, related content, or content that simply converts better than the page they're on. Now you know how to use OptinMonster to grow your email list and to increase page views. Before we show you how to build a campaign to reduce abandonment or target website messages to specific pieces of content, let's take a break and explore the display rules in more detail. OptinMonster's powerful display rules let you target where, when, and for whom your opt-ins can display. Let's take a look at the conditions within the display rules. If the time on page is at least X number of seconds, or is not X number of seconds, if the time on site is at least X number of seconds, if the visitor attempts to exit the site by their mouse moving up towards the browser bar. This is a great indication that the visitor is about to leave your site without having taken any action. If the visitor clicks a monster link. Now we'll show a monster link in a future demo, but for now know that a monster link allows you to trigger a campaign with the click of an image, link, or button on your website. The distance scrolled. Has the visitor scrolled X percentage or X pixels on your site, or have they not scrolled that percentage? You can target inactive visitors based on the time that they haven't moved their mouse or scrolled their screen on a tablet or a phone. And if you're scheduling campaigns, these 4 conditions, current date, current time, day, or month, can be very helpful as well. The current URL path is very commonly used. It allows you to target any page on the site, the home page, not the home page, and then a series of conditions like exactly matches the URL, does not exactly match the URL, contains or doesn't contain specific words, starts with or does not start with words, ends or does not end with specific words, or matches a specific pattern, which is great for websites that have very complicated URL structures. The pages viewed. Has the visitor viewed X number of pages? Have they not viewed that many pages? Have they viewed more than that number of pages? And then the opt-in can display. Is the visitor's device a mobile device, a tablet, or a desktop? By default, our campaigns display on all 3 devices, but you can use this particular condition to target one device or the other. Has the visitor opted into one of your other campaigns? Have they not opted into one of your other campaigns? Have they specifically closed one of the other campaigns, or maybe not closed it intentionally, but they just navigated away from it after having seen it? You can target new and returning visitors, and you can target visitors based on their location. You can also target query parameters within a URL. Here's a quick example. On most websites, when you search the site, the URL will change to reflect the term that you searched for. In this case, this website displays a question mark in S, which stands for search, equals the term, in this case tie. Now the S is the key and the tie is the value, and you can target that particular search term in your OptinMonster campaigns, in which case that campaign would display on the search results for tie. You can target specific cookies on your site. You can also target campaigns based on the referring URL that sent the visitor to your site. You can target campaigns to display if the visitor has ad blocker turned on or off, or if they reach a certain URL hash on your site, otherwise known as an anchor link or a jump link. Now that you have an idea of how our display rules can be used to more easily target the actions of visitors on your site, let's take a look at how you can reduce abandonment with an exit intent full screen opt-in targeted only to display on the cart pages of an e-commerce store. For e-commerce store owners, this next opt-in type is critical. Between 60 and 80% of visitors who add a product to your cart will leave that product in the cart and not complete their checkout. It's crucial that you try to recover that purchase as soon as possible. In this tutorial, we'll create an exit intent full screen opt-in that displays only on the cart and checkout pages. Let's get started. Click Create Campaign, and then choose the full screen opt-in, and for this we'll use the entrance template. Let's name our campaign Full Screen Exit and start building. The first thing we'll do is go straight to the display rules. We'll change this first rule to say exit detected, and we'll leave the sensitivity on medium. Then the current URL path we want to make sure exactly matches cart. Now I'm using WooCommerce, and that happens to be the URL for the cart page, but your store might be a little bit different. We want to also target the checkout page because that's a very important page also that visitors can sometimes exit on without completing their purchase. So we'll say checkout and then move on. The next step is to show the campaign opt-in view, and then here's the summary of what we've just chosen. We'll go to the integrations tab and add our MailChimp account like we did in previous demos, and be sure to select a specific list as well once we have connected that account. Very important not to forget the list. We'll go to the Analytics tab and make sure that Google Analytics is connected so that we can record our impressions and conversions using the same account that we selected earlier. And then to the Publish tab, set the opt-in to live and click Save. Remember, now we added the embed code already, so we don't need to do it again. Here's our cart page with the product added, and if we attempt to exit this page without purchasing, there's our exit intent full screen opt-in designed to convert abandoning visitors. In our last demo, we'll show you how to explode conversions using a two-step opt-in. Two-step campaigns convert well because of a psychology principle called the Zeigarnik effect. The Zeigarnik effect states that a person who begins an action is more likely to complete it. In this case, the person who clicks, yes, I want to subscribe, is more likely to then complete their subscription because when they clicked, yes, I will subscribe, they committed in their minds to complete that action. I'd like to show you how to use the yes/no view to create two-step campaigns. Here we have a Lightbox opt-in. As it is, this opt-in shows the opt-in view when the campaign first launches. Instead, we want to show the yes/no view. Right now, the yes/no view is deactivated because we're not using it, so of course we want to activate it. Once you've activated the yes/no view, we do most of the work for you. If you click on the yes button, you can choose the yes action. By default, it goes to the opt-in view, which is this view. And if you then click on the opt-in form action, you'll see that it's set to go to the success view. So that flow from yes/no to opt-in to success view is set up automatically. And if you're using the yes/no view, the action will automatically be changed to show the yes/no view first when the campaign is launched. And that's all it takes to begin using the yes/no form on your site. Yes/no campaigns are not the only way to add a two-step opt-in to your website. In this demo, I'll show you how to use a monster link to turn any link, image, or button on your site into a two-step opt-in. Creating a monster link is easy. Here we have our Lightbox opt-in we designed in the last tutorial. We'll click on Display Rules and then use the condition Visitor Clicked Monster Link and copy the monster link code. We'll come back to our page or post where we'd like that monster link to appear and paste the HTML link. By default, it only says click me, but you can edit that text to say whatever you'd like. We'll update the post and then come back to our post on the site and refresh the screen so that we can see our new monster link. When we click on the text, click me, it launches the campaign. Monster links are a great way to contextualize your offers using the exact content your visitor is reading at the time. Thank you so much for joining us for this demo. We hope that you now see why OptinMonster is the most powerful conversion optimization toolkit available. As an existing customer, if you happen to have any questions along the way, we're here to help. You can find us by clicking the Help tab within your account and submitting a ticket. And of course, we'd love for you to take some time to review our case studies on our website that are filled with great ideas of how companies just like yours have increased conversions and sales using OptinMonster. And we hope that we'll see you one day as a case study too.